Hey everyone, I'm Crystal Valenzuela. Thank you for, I guess I don't know how to speak English today. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to do some community readings for collective healing. And let me introduce myself. I'm a psychic medium and I like to do these community readings for collective healing to share with people what mediumship readings are really like. I know prior to my own spiritual development, I used to be really scared of them, and I never had a spiritual reading done before. And then when I started my development and getting readings, I saw that it was actually really wonderful and quite healing. And that's what I want to share with everyone that joins today. So I know we have some questions. I'll get into some readings. Welcome, everyone. Drop me a comment. Let me know where you're joining from. Love to hear where you guys are joining from. And then we'll get started. All right, so let's see. I know that there are some questions here. So Suzanne asked, how many spirit guides do I have besides the snow owl? What are their names and how do I connect with them? So everyone has a group of spirit guides, and how many spirit guides are actually included in your group, it's a case-by-case situation, and different guides will come up for you at different times depending on what you're going through, because we have various types of guides. For example, there's the master guide, who is really like the leader of all your guides, who's kind of directing people in how to support you and be a guide for you. There's the I always forget what it's called, but I call it the bouncer guide. Gatekeeper. There's a gatekeeper guide. So there's the gatekeeper guide, and the gatekeeper guide is the one who chooses who is basically gatekeeping, who has access to you in terms of the spiritual world. And so there are all these different guides that everyone has, and then that doesn't even jump into the various skill related guides or craft guides, because there are different guides that support you through different activities and through different phases of your life. So everyone has a different number of guides, and how many guides you have, that's really a relationship between you and your guides, and are you going to connect with them? Not all guides will make themselves known either, because some guides, they don't want to have a relationship with you in which you're buddy and you just like talking all the time. They're more of a behind the scenes guide. And so those guides that are more behind the scenes, they're not going to have a conscious relationship where you know them. One of your questions was, what are their names? And for spirit, names are trivial. They're not important. It's more about a feeling. And so I have a class, a virtual self-guided class called Connect and Work with Your Spirit Guides. And the whole basis of developing a relationship with your guides is built on getting to know them, but not just getting to know their name and getting to know what they look like, but getting to know what they feel like, getting to know the essence and the signature of their energy. Because your guides actually go through many different manifestations throughout your life. When you're a child and you have a imaginary friend, sometimes those are your guides, and your guides are taking on different physical expressions depending on what you're more accepting of. So as a child, you might be more accepting of a spirit guide that's like a teddy bear, and that's your imaginary friend. But then as you get older, maybe you crave something more realistic, and maybe it's a fairy, or maybe it becomes an actual child. And then as you get older, maybe because of your own belief system, you want to know that your guide is a medicine person. Maybe you're looking for like a guru or a shaman or something. It's all based on your belief system. So one of the things that I teach is your psychic vocabulary and having more of an understanding of what does this representation mean to me within my lived experience, and understanding that as context to what this guide's purpose is in your life. So instead of asking how many guides do I have and what are their names, it's more about, well, what do your guides feel like? How are you connecting with them? How are you building relationship with them? And understanding like what sensations, what feelings arise within you when you are in the presence of these energies. Because whether they look like a bird, or whether they look like a character, or whether they look like a family member, they can have the same feeling within you. And then the truth of the matter is that that is the same energy. It's just presenting differently, because based on your belief system, that's what you need to know, or that's going to be the most accepting for you. So I hope that answers your question, Suzanne. I just took a class. Yes, there are employment guides. And your guides are there to help you. So the very first thing, if you want to work with a guide, is to be very clear and direct about your intention. Don't beat around the bush. They're waiting to help you. So if you are calling upon your guides to help you find a job, be very direct. Guides, help me find a job. Help me get a job that aligns with my values and supports me, and whatever it is they need. And I want the job in a month. And then from there, after you declare it, then be open to how your guides create the opportunity for you. So one of the things that I teach, and one of my teachers uses the word congruence, which perfectly sums up what this is to say what you mean and mean what you say. So if you're asking your guides for a job, and then they bring all these job opportunities to you, but then you don't do anything with them, then the vibration that you put out is that you don't actually mean it. So say what you mean and mean what you say. Okay, if you guys have questions, go ahead and drop all the questions that you want, because I'm happy to answer them. So I was going to say, I just took a class, and the teacher was talking about how there's sort of like an evolution with your guides and how they present themselves to you. And it all is based on your belief system. And I know this is definitely within my belief system, that your thoughts create your beliefs, create your reality. And so if you are, I don't know how to pronounce the teacher's name, but he's a tutor with the Arthur Findlay College. And he was saying that he was told at one point that if you had a spirit guide, your spirit guide was either a guru, or no, your guide was either a Tibetan monk, or an indigenous, like a Native American medicine man, or a Chinese herbalist. Those three things. Your spirit guide was either an indigenous Native American medicine man, a Chinese herbalist, or a Tibetan monk. So his first spirit guide manifested as a Native American medicine person. And then after some time, his spirit guide evolved to an herbalist. And then after some time, his spirit guide evolved to a Tibetan monk. And it actually doesn't matter. Your spirit guide can present as anything, but it's by influence of what your beliefs are that your spirit guides actually take on that manifestation or expression. So I'll give you another example is growing up, I grew up on cartoons, watched cartoons all the time, and I continue to watch cartoons quite a bit with my kids. And so cartoons are a very safe bet with me. And so when I started my psychic development, whenever a new energy was presenting itself to me, it would present as a cartoon. So I remember I was starting to connect with cosmic extraterrestrials, and they would show up as cute little Marvin the Martian type cartoons. And that's because that was what was the most comfortable for me. So if you have a different comfort level, if you have a different belief system, that's going to influence how spirit presents itself and expresses itself to you. Another example is I have a student and her symbols were flooded with birds. And so this is again a reflection of your psychic vocabulary, which is built upon your psyche, your lived experience, your memories, your belief system. And her symbols were flooded with birds, and she'd be like, I don't understand. What do these birds mean? And I'm like, you can go look up what a bird means in some guidebook, but it's not going to be exactly what the bird is wanting to represent for you, because the definition for that symbol lives within you. And so it takes being with yourself to allow that information to come from within, to allow it to resurface. And that's the psychic vocabulary. Suzanne also asked, what spirit guides, any messages that my spirit guides want to tell me, or things I need to work on spiritually, either through angel, oracle cards, meditation. Okay, so I'll save that to when we go through actual readings. Let me see if there are any other questions here. Oh, cool, Karen. It looks like you're from California. Let's see. Ooh, and Boston. Okay. Looking through here. Okay. I am going to go ahead and do a few readings. I'm going to go ahead and do some readings. I've been practicing trance healing to build on my trance mediumship. So I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens here. I'm going to walk everyone through a quick meditation just to help clear the energy and ground. And cool, Amanda from Whittier. You're my neighbor. I'm over in West Covina. All right. So go ahead and take a comfortable position. I'll walk you through a quick meditation to help you set an intention and clear your energy. And then the way I do things here is I do emoji readings. So at the end, I'll ask you to drop an emoji, and then I let spirit guide me to, I'm in the 626, yes. I will let spirit guide me to who to read. So go ahead and sit back and relax and close your eyes, and begin by taking a deep and purposeful breath. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling fully and completely out through the mouth. Go ahead and take a few more deep breaths. With every exhale, feeling your body relax and ease into your seat. With your eyes closed and your breath returning to its normal rhythm, See yourself in a beautiful nature field. Looking around you, seeing all of the green plants, seeing all of the trees, feeling the air breezing around you, feeling the warm, beautiful sunlight, calming, relaxing, yet revitalizing you. And as you take a walk in this beautiful, calming, natural space, find yourself walking towards a hill. And at the bottom of this hill, you find steps. And as you walk up these steps, they gradually lead you around the hill and to the top. When you get to the top of this hill, you find this even more beautiful, natural, and peaceful space. As you step up into this beautiful, natural, and peaceful space, you feel the bright, energizing light flowing all around you, filling your heart and every cell of your being with love. And as you enter this beautiful, bright, healing space, you feel called to sit in the center of this space, just allowing yourself to receive this beautiful, healing light energy. And as you sit there in this beautiful, healing light energy space, think about who you want to connect with, or if there is a question that you would like answered, and allow that energy begin to build at your heart. And with every breath, this energy grows bigger, stronger, and more pronounced. And eventually, this energy grows to be larger than you. And with much love and much gratitude, you release this energy, knowing that it will go exactly where it needs to go. Setting it free out into the universe. And as this energy is released, you feel whole and complete. And you can make your way back down the stairs, back down the hill, and back to where you began your journey. And as you return, you can gently bring your attention back to your body, back to the space, and gently open your eyes and return to the room. And now you can choose any emoji and drop it in the comments. Hey Claire, my dear friend, how are you? Okay, so I want to let you guys know before I jump into readings. I mentioned that I've been working on my trance mediumship, and I would love to practice with you guys. I won't be practicing here in this space, but I do invite you to join my newsletter because I will be offering exclusively to my newsletter. I will be offering exclusively to my newsletter opportunities to receive trance healing in one-on-one sessions and in groups. And I'm offering this while I'm practicing the trance healing. So the only way you're going to be able to take advantage is if you join my newsletter. So you can head to my website. It's there at the bottom right-hand corner, www.chriselcan.com. And then you could always, if you follow my Instagram, it's also at the link in my bio. And maybe I should add, a link to it in my YouTube page too. So yeah, divine timing, my dear friend Claire. You got on just in time. So if you guys are just joining, drop me a comment. Let me know where you're joining from so I can say hi. And we just finished a meditation to set our intention and clear our energy. So if you'd like a reading or have a question, just drop an emoji. I'm going to use my cards a little bit. Oh, Hemet, that's where you are. My cousins used to live in Hemet, so I'm familiar. I had a family that lived there. And actually, I should also mention, where is this thing? I should also mention that I am probably going to be doing my October reading in person, but I will be traveling, so it will not be online. I will not broadcast it. Hold on a second. I need to find my cards. Where are you? They are hiding from me. Interesting. I don't know where they could be. I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab my cards. Or actually, I just don't use the cards. Okay. So I'm going to start with Amanda. Okay, I feel like it's a couple. So I feel like it's grandma and grandpa on dad's side of the family that are coming through. And it feels like they're very close. Like they had a very close relationship. Okay, so I feel like when I see them, I feel like they're showing me a very young representation, like a very young version of them. And I don't mean like children, but it feels like maybe in their late 40s, early 50s. And I see them very close together, almost like they're intertwined. It's hard to tell the difference between them. And it almost looks like grandma is wearing this. I get this feeling that they're dancing is what it kind of reminds me of. Oops. So it looks like they're dancing. That's how close they look. And then grandma also looks like she's wearing this long red gown. Um, and it's like a plain, it's like a solid red gown. No pattern, no embellishment, just a solid material. But at the bottom, it's the way it's cut, it looks like it's made for dancing because while it's like this fitted, almost like mermaid cut dress, it flows with every movement. And that's what sticks out for me. It's almost like they're doing, I don't know, salsa, or it's not, I don't hear salsa music, but it looks like a lot of hip moving, but they're very close and they're in sync, is what I see. When I see grandma's face, I see she has like a short, kind of wavy, but it doesn't look natural. It's like she blew her hair out and made it wavy for her look. And she's a very pretty, beautiful woman. She wears makeup, but she doesn't really need it. It's just part of the costume. And she has very red lipstick on. Grandpa looks like he has very thick, they both have very thick, luscious hair, but Grandpa has very dark black hair. And it looks like these are either the progressive glasses that tint, um, that tint when you go into the sunlight, or they're just glasses with like brown, um, brown tint at the top that just like ombres to clear at the bottom. But he has a very thick black mustache. And what I see him wearing is he's wearing black slacks and like a gray dress shirt. But they're party people. Not like party animals, but they love to go out and dance, is what it feels like. I'm just asking, like, why are they coming through together? And it just feels like they're very close and like they were a package. They're a package deal. It also feels like they are very close to you. And it's like they stand behind you and hug you, like they're holding on to each other. I always see them holding on or touching each other, like whether it be like holding the arms or hugging, side by side. But they're behind you hugging each other side by side, and then they hold you with the other arm in front of them. And that's how I see them connected to you and supporting you. It feels very much like they keep you upright, is what it feels like. I get this feeling that, like, when, like, grandma was a person that could get very easily upset, because I see her getting upset and she's just like, oh, no, 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 no. And it seems like grandpa's the one who really grounded her, because I see him following her as she's getting upset. And um, he's just trying to help calm her down. And it feels very much like they had that balance. Like that was the balance between them and why they worked so well together. Like they complemented one another. Um, I have a question for you, so I'm going to pop into the comments. So, Amanda, did they call you Mandy? Because I'm asking them, so why are you coming through for Amanda? And they said, well, Mandy. Um, Okay, I'm just going to clear this. They're saying that you're going through a lot and it doesn't have to be that way. It could be easy. And when I ask for detail, they show me a man, but he feels young. He doesn't feel like a man. He's like a baby faced man is what it feels like. And I see him where he has really thick black hair too. Not long, but he has thick black hair. And then he's also wearing a black leather jacket. And I feel like he's really controlling. I keep seeing him trying to grab at wrists, but he feels young, like a boy. When I see you, it feels like in this interaction with this young man, it feels like it doesn't actually, it's interesting because it's not like it upsets you. It's more like you look at when this person acts out and it's more of a why are you doing that? Like you just question it. But it doesn't hurt you, is what it feels like. And they're saying, when are you going to do something about it? Because it's like you know enough to know that that's not it's not good, but you're still going through it. So they're asking, like, when is enough going to be enough? Grandma in particular is saying she doesn't need to be with him. So okay, regardless of what they say, um, you don't actually, regardless of what spirit ever tells you, you don't actually have to do any of it, um, because you have free will. And so whatever comes through, you could take it, you could leave it, you could save it for later. But whenever anything comes through, I always feel like I need to give that disclaimer, because spirit doesn't tell you how to live your life. It's not like you're a robot and they give you instructions. It's always you get to choose, you get to decide whether or not you want to take that and do anything with it. And you can take your time with that too. So let's see here. Hold on, I'm just going to clear this energy. I'm not sure what this means, so I'm just going to describe it. And this is coming from, I'm just calling her grandma. I actually don't know if that's really how she's related to you, but I see her in the grandma position, but she looks very young. And when I see her, what I feel like I'm seeing is a projection of this like beautiful long red gown that she was wearing and the fitted dress that she's wearing, and then it's on you. Like she wants this for you, and it's like she wants you to bring out that that movement, that communication with the body, because dancing is just a form of communication and a connection between the mind and the body, and how the body and the mind are in intimate relationship to be able to, for the mind to communicate to the body. My dog is scratching to come inside the house. How the mind is communicating with the body, and the body's ability to respond and express what the mind is communicating. And it feels like she's wanting for you to have that kind of relationship. But why? Why is that important? She says because there's shame. She feels shame with the body. And when I say that, there's shame with the body. Even when I say that, I feel like the blood is draining from my heart and going into my, like right below my ribs. And it feels like this shame of the body has more to do with the shame of the body has more to do with the conditioning, like what society says about women's bodies. It's like if it feels like what she's telling me, it feels like there's like a conservatism with appearances, and it comes not from a place of like really wanting to conserve, but more of feeling like you need to protect, feeling like you need to hide. I know a lot of people that do spiritual work and they think about protection, like you need to protect yourself. And it's like, actually, that really depends on your belief system. Like you need to protect yourself if you believe that you are a victim, if you believe that you are always susceptible to something happening, if you feel disempowered, of course you need to protect yourself. And so it feels like this shame and like wanting to have pride in the body, like that message is coming from, this is what you were taught, and she's trying to change that conditioning. But also feels like this there's a disconnect between the knowing and then the practicing, because that's what I feel like is coming up from the images I get with this guy, is that even though something could be acting out wrong or something doesn't feel right for you, you're not necessarily doing anything about it. So allowing yourself to like have the cognition that you feel a certain way about something, but then also feeling empowered to take the action that aligns with how you feel about it is what it feels like. And then they're like, I don't know how to do it, but it's like a snap clap, like you got it, is what they're saying. I feel like that's, yep. Okay. So Amanda, thank you so much for letting me read for you. I'm just going to disconnect from your energy. Okay. Let's see who's next. Okay, I think I'm going to do Karen next. And could be great grandparents. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. So, one of the reasons why I am also practicing trance mediumship. So, if you guys don't know what trance mediumship is or what trance is, it's a state of mind. So, if you've ever heard of brainwave states, it is similar to it is theta. It's a theta state, and it's also the hypnotic state. So, when you go through hypnosis, you go through trance, theta state, and I wanted to take this class that I took this week because I feel like in mediumship sessions, spirit wants to take over. But I'm like, I don't know. But it's happened enough times. I'm like, okay, maybe I should explore this, learn a little more about it. So I took a class this week. And so I did trance speaking. And trance mediumship is when the spirit then physically becomes you. It's like they have control of your body. It is consented access, so it's not like possession. And they can have movements and then they could like express themselves through your body. So the medium then takes on behavioral characteristics of the spirit that's wanting to come through. It's also when people start talking as the spirit that's coming through. So like in this case, it was her great grandparents that came through. I would be talking like them. And there are some cases where people do physical trance mediumship, and their face starts to look like the person that they're bringing through. Which one am I going to be practicing? I don't know. I just took a trance healing class, so I'm really just learning how to work in the trance states and learning more about it. But one of my favorite things about it is that it does not make me tired. Like I actually feel very energized afterwards. Whereas with these sessions, I often feel like I get a boost of energy, but then I come crashing down. So I need time to recover. And it's also been, I'm only available for 2 readings a day. And a big part of that is because it takes so much energy out of me. And so I feel like trance healing is much better on my physiology, on my body, than regular mediumship. Okay, so let's see here, Karen. We're gonna see who shows up for you. Hi, Denise. Glad you can be here. Okay. So for Karen, I see a woman on mom's side of the family, and she reminds me of Laura Linney. So if you're not, I don't know if you're familiar with the actress Laura Linney, but she looks very Laura Linney. I don't think this is mom or grandma. I feel like this is an aunt because she shows up in the mom generation, but is like out there. And this woman, she has very long, straight, thick, blonde hair. She's very pretty and very low maintenance is what I would say. But Laura Linney, if you're not familiar with Laura Linney, the actress, look it up because she looks just like her. She feels like I feel like she's a very gardeny kind of woman. I see her wearing this long maxi dress looking thing, and it's covered in flowers, and she has like this light cardigan. It's a white cardigan, but it's knitted, but it looks light, so it looks like something that you could wear in the spring or even the early summer. It's not too warm. But I feel like she has so much nature energy in her, and I feel like it's coming from she loved to be outside. She liked to spend time with flowers. Um, I don't see her necessarily as like the planting kind, but she definitely enjoys like maintaining, pruning, doing like flower arrangements, that kind of thing. And she feels like someone who loved to be outside, who loved to play outside and enjoy the sunlight. And when I see her holding a gigantic beach ball. And that's where I get the playfulness from. She's laughing and playing with this giant beach ball. And when I see her with you, what I feel is her connection to you is still very separate. Like she's there, but she's not intertwining in your life. Like she's supporting from a distance. Like she comes in and out, is what it feels like. Because I see her playing, and then she comes in and she's walking next to you. Um, and she's watching you, like she's like an observer. And it feels like she's just taking a break from the play to show up in your life. But it's like she's checking in to make sure that everything with you is right. And it feels like she just provides like a supportive like pat on the back, and just the right amount of encouragement to keep you going. Your neighbor's playing really loud music. Okay. And I actually feel like you are aware of her because she talks to you and you turn your head and you look at her. So I feel like you're aware of the connection. And next time I need to wear my headphones because the neighbor's music is getting loud. I wonder if you guys can hear it. And now I'm asking, so she's saying she just wants you to have fun and play and enjoy the energy of it. And I asked the question, like, is she not having fun? And she says, well, yeah, she has fun, but she just kind of makes work out of it. And so she says, because I asked the question, well, what does she need to do to just have fun and not make work out of it? And she says, to just be in the present moment. That's easy, right? So she's telling me that it feels safe to have the structure and to create like guidelines or rules or whatever out of the play and the fun. But um, that anxiety, it feels safe because it calms the anxieties and the doubts and like the worry that you have going into actually enjoying yourself in those moments and just being present. But it's like she wants you to know that the anxiety that you feel, like the stress or just like the jitters, is the buildup of the energy going into it. It's the excitement of everyone else. I'm a really anxious person too, actually. So something I learned from one of my teachers is that when people have anxiety, it's often you're very sensitive to energy. And so when you feel anxiety, it's important to ground yourself because you are most likely feeling the energy of those around you. And even if you are not physically around people, you are feeling the energy of those that you are energetically intertwined with. So oftentimes we're energetically intertwined with like family members, parents, siblings, lovers, friends. Think of any codependent relationship that is an energetic entanglement. I feel like you have that energetic codependent entanglement because she's like this. She calls a lot of attention to it. She's emphasizing that. And the cure she's giving me is spending time with yourself. Spend more time with yourself. Get to know yourself more. Like remember more of who you are in order to release the entanglement. And this is really, really beautiful what she's saying. She's saying she has such a beautiful soul. And if she spent more time with herself, she would be able to see that too. And then you might feel more, what's this word? You might, I just had this whole spiel about like protection energy, but you might feel more protective of yourself if you knew who you really were. And really, what it feels like is you would be more stern with your boundaries. So, play exists in everything. You don't need to have the beach ball to be playing. You don't need to be outside. Any situation, any environment can become a playful environment, can be an experience of play. And so it all is a matter of mindset. Um, it feels like giving yourself the permission to have those moments of play and joy, and that it all flows from there because it feels like you're being very strict with yourself in that sense. I hope this makes sense. Let's see here. Lillian, hey Lillian, I'm gonna be in Virginia. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything else. It's funny because the music in my background is loud, but then she's yelling it as if she's trying to say it over the music. But what she's also saying is that you also don't have to be loud. Like to have fun, it could be quiet. There are different levels of fun that you can have, different levels of play. You can have gentle play, you can have solitary play, you can have quiet, alone play. Um, you can have loud play, you can have boisterous play, but there are different kinds of play. And so it doesn't always have to be this wild and actively engaging kind of play. It could be it could be in any situation again. So and it also feels like you also don't need to worry about it because while she's in and out, while she like floats in and out to check on you, she gives you like a very tight bear hug, like a very big bear hug, which also feels like she's also very present and supporting. And that's it. I just see, it feels like this is someone that you're very close to energetically, like, because there's a lot of awareness between you two. Um, and it just feels like it feels like she's done speaking through me, but it doesn't feel like the message is done. So it feels like there's going to be continuation. And it feels like, if you meditate, it can continue in your meditation, but it feels like definitely it'll continue in your dreams. Okay. Thank you, Karen. I'm just going to disconnect. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Again, if you would like to support me while I practice my trance, mediumship, trance healing, join my mailing list because I will only make this available. I will only ask my mailing list for volunteers for sessions. And you could join my mailing list at my website. And I'm undecided, but I'm most likely not going to have my live stream next month because I will be traveling. I will be traveling through New York, DC, and I'll be ending in Norfolk. So email me if you're in any of these places and let's have a meetup. So thank you everyone for joining. I appreciate you being here. I will see you. Sign up for my newsletter because Iris sends out an email letting you know when the live stream is going to happen. So you can also join the newsletter to know when these live streams are going to happen so that you can join. And thanks again. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your September. Bye.